Today I'm going to give you 5 base links, but also show you the process that I went through to fix my bases for the WWE Friend or Foe event. This here is the base that Stars ran in the last Legends League season. It's a base built by TK. TK, absolutely insane. If you ever want bases, make sure you go to the Blueprint website and order one from him. But it's not really updated for the new event, is it? So today, I'm going to show you this sort of process I'm going through to fix them. I'm also going to give you 5 base links that have been sitting in my base. I didn't build any of them. They're all copied from the internet, but we're going to update them for the new event for you guys, because obviously, these army camps are worth a whole lot more. So the first thing you want to think about is, well, where in the base do we have room for our army camps? Because generally, you don't want to switch out the defenses on a base, particularly when they're around a rage tower, poison tower, spell tower. Those defenses are worth double. So you want to start looking for buildings like these two, right in the center of the base. And that is perfect, because we know we can just swap like for like. I don't know why I removed them. It would have been so much easier to just pull them across and do that thing. But already off the bat, we've gotten 2 army camps inside the base. And then you just got to think about, well, what other storage can we move? And this storage here is a pretty easy one, because we can just get that one out of the way, and then the army camp's going to sit in here, and then we'll just have to move the spare walls around. Obviously, we got one there, and I think that doesn't, nope, that does work. Beautiful. So no gaps there. But we also want to be thinking about, from a defensive point of view, where do we want the army camps? Because generally, you don't necessarily want the army camp inside the same compartment as the single inferno, particularly if it's an offensive army camp. Because, for instance, if there's a cane, or what's the other one that you can get? The disarmer comes in right here. Your single inferno, which is worth so much in this event because all the troops have insane hit points, it will get taken down. So we either have to run a defensive army camp here, which is actually okay. I don't mind that for a defensive spot, or we need to move it elsewhere. So I'm going to run 2 army camps in the defense, 2 defensive army camps in here. Now, the links today won't line up for offensive and defensive, because obviously this isn't the live, this is the live build of the game, and it hasn't gone live in game yet. So there's no gap in, oh, there is. Actually, I don't mind the idea of just putting the golds. No, we need, right. I completely forgot. We can't just have a gap on the top side of the base. Now, with these gold storages, I don't want you to just put them on the outside of the base. Gold storages are quite valuable, right? They've got a lot of hit points. You don't want to just put them on the outside of the base and waste them willy-nilly. Okay, let's move this. And beautiful. Beautiful. Works out in the end. I want to use my gold storages elsewhere on the base. So if your base has anything like you saw here, a lab spell factory in the center of the base, if it's got gold mines, elixir collectors, you name it, the storages takes priority. It's got way more hit points, so that should be a simple one for you all. And yeah, that's honestly the extent of it. If you want to make more changes to the base, I always recommend that, because people know how to beat the base link exactly as you copy it. The more changes you make, even if it potentially makes the base slightly weaker, as long as it makes it more unique, you're probably more likely to get a defense. And then we're just going to put the Teslas. That doesn't actually make any sense. We'll just mirror it. We'll just mirror it for something like that. But as you can see, we've fixed this base. It's still a strong base, and it's even got the army camp set up to help during this event. This is the second base link you're going to see. I've already edited this one. Now, you might think, what are those 2 army camps doing on the outside? I'm going to give them up as the offensive ones, because we've got a lot of DPS in that area, and I kind of want them to try and shoot through the troops. Now, I actually have no idea if this is going to work. Also, doesn't help, there's not a lot of room for the army camps inside this base, so you want to run the 2 defensive ones by the poison tower areas of the base. I actually have no idea if this is going to work, but it's worth a go, and like I said, where else are you going to put them on this base? There isn't a lot of 4x4 compartments. Now, the third base here is if you prefer these box or anti-2 style bases set up quite nicely. Yet again, I would run it's really hard to tell without knowing the meta. I would run the 2 offensive army camps next to the 2 expos here, because it just doesn't feel like they're going to get insane value from here. And then we're obviously going to protect the monolith and that single inferno on the top side. Also, all of these bases I'm showing you today, yet again, not built by me, but have single Infernos, because I just don't know why you wouldn't run a single Inferno in this event. Base number 4 is another meta isolated Town Hall base, but this one was quite difficult yet again to get the 4 army camps in. Army camps are really annoyingly sized. Getting all 4 of them in the base does mean you have to make a few concessions. This one, it doesn't really matter whether it's offensive or defensive where you put them. I don't really see any difference in this. I don't know why that's a multi-Inferno. Obviously, we're going to make that a single Inferno. I don't love it. Yet again, I don't like the idea of putting an offensive army camp in the same compartment as a single Inferno, but I didn't really know which other way to do this unless you're going to move the single Infernos with, say, a poison tower. Now, if you prefer anti-2 style layouts, I also have one of those here. Based on my understanding, I would run the giant offensive one here because you got that tornado and single Inferno, which can wreck that giant super quickly. And then I'd run one of the offensive ones via the scatter. You obviously want to defend the monolith, and then another defensive one versus the other scatter. But really, until I know how it actually works, I am kind of guessing, but it's definitely better to protect your army camps than give them up for free on the outside of the base. And the last base layout here, I've lost track. I think I said 5, but I feel like this is the 6th one. Yeah, I managed to get the army camps inside the walls, but yet again, on this style of base, yes, it is meta at the moment, and it probably will stay meta throughout the event. It's really hard to get the army camps inside there, but did my best for it, just showing you guys kind of the process that goes behind it. But yeah, good luck in this event, genuinely. I don't think these bases will help you defend, but you're more likely to defend, but also, like, how are you meant to stop these troops? They are clinically absurd, but if you need to learn how to use them, I did a video yesterday showcasing them all and showcasing some of the best armies with these event troops, because it's almost impossible to fail as long as you don't make some ridiculously bad mistakes.